Hello, I'm Chef Dodo and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making croissants. So here I am making the croissant dough. I am mixing all of the ingredients together all at once in the bowl. This dough does not need to create too much gluten, so what we're going to do is just mix this dough all together until it comes together, and then we're going to put it in the fridge to chill for about 3 hours. We want this dough to stay relatively cold the entire time we're going to work with it. So we're going to leave it in the fridge to chill so that it can get to the proper temperature. After I make this dough, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the butter block. So here that is. What I'm doing here is pounding down the butter so that it becomes more pliable. I want the butter to become kind of bendy so that when I put this butter into the dough, it'll move with the dough instead of breaking down into little bitty pieces. So I've made that into a square, and what I'm going to do now is divide my dough kind of into like an envelope so that when I put this butter into it, I can fold the dough over it and then everything fits together nice and cohesively. So now I'm rolling out the dough and the butter together, and you can see kind of how they roll with each other. My goal there was to get them both the same texture and temperature. So I did my first fold. Now I'm working on my second fold after they did about a 30-minute rest in the fridge. Here I am working on my third fold. As you can see, as we do more folds on the dough, it's stretching and pulling the dough, and it's creating more gluten. By this third fold, you can see the dough is kind of stretching back on itself a little bit more as it's creating more gluten. So here I am the next day. This dough has rested in the fridge overnight. You can see it's gotten a little more poofy as the yeast has causing it to rise overnight in the fridge. I'm giving it one more fold. This is just going to create those extra layers and a little bit of extra crispiness. This is going to rest in the fridge for about another 30 minutes just to keep that temperature that we want. We want that butter to stay nice and chilled. And then here I am doing the final rollout. This is when the magic happens. The dough is very tough at this point. There's a lot more gluten in it than when I originally started, so it's going to take a lot of elbow grease at this point to roll the dough out to the proper thickness. This process is a lot easier with a sheeter in a commercial bakery, but unfortunately I don't have one of those at home. So here I am portioning the dough out into the proper sizes to roll it out into the croissants. I'm cutting it into strips first, and then I'm going to cut it into triangles. Now, something I want to remember while doing this is to work very fast. I want to do this because I want to prevent the croissants from proofing too much while they're on the bench. They are sitting out at room temperature right now, which in my house I believe is about 72 degrees. This is going to cause them to start rising as they're sitting out, and I don't want them to start proofing. I'm not going to be baking all of these croissants right now, so I want to shape them and get them in my freezer as quickly as possible to prevent them from proofing as much as possible. I'll keep them in the freezer where they'll be good for up to probably about 6 months. And then whenever I want, I can just take some out, let them proof, throw some egg wash on them, throw them in the oven, and then I'll have some croissants. Here I am. The process of shaping these is I grab the base of the croissant, I'll stretch it down to give it some length, and then rolling it out with keeping pressure on the edges of the croissant. So you roll it away from you and apply even pressure on the edges. The dough itself doesn't really have a problem sticking to itself. You don't need any kind of egg wash or any kind of adhesive to get it to stick. Just a little bit of even pressure while rolling should get it to stick to itself pretty easily. Now here we have the finished product and the croissants proofing. Just applying a little bit of egg wash to keep them moist and give a little bit of humidity while they rise. Here's that final egg wash before they bake. You can see they've kind of doubled in size. You can see that layer. And there's the finished product. So, hope you learned a few things. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys want to see next. Thanks for watching.